About 1 year ago we published a video about two Italian legends called Bud Spencer and Terence, both considered by many immortal larger-than-life superheroes. Around the same time these two fellas were making movies, another dynamic duo from France emerged that was taking over the comics scene. Two proud heroes from ancient times that go by the names Asterix and Obelix. Our story takes place around 50 BC. The Roman Empire conquered the land of the Gaul, except for this one tiny little village that is still resisting the Roman onslaught that is led by Gaius Julius Caesar. This tiny village had a little secret, the recipe for a magic potion that temporarily grants the consumer superhuman strength. On the forefront of the ghoulish forces stood the short but witty Asterix and the strongest man in the village, Obelix. Obelix is not allowed to drink from the magic potion because he fell into a cauldron as a child, consuming enough for a lifetime. These two spent their lives doing adventures around the world while doing their two favorite things: eating and punching Romans to the moon. Having appeared in 39 official comic books, 13 animated films, 5 live-action films, and about 40 video games, Asterix and Obelix have achieved an absolute cult status here in Europe. Heck, they got their own theme park in Palais, France. I'm Dr. Sledgehammer, by the way, and today I wanna try out a new Asterix title called Asterix and Obelix Slap Them All. Was published last December. Just waiting on my brother Thomas to arrive, should be any moment now. Ah, speaking of the devil.
What's up, bro?
Not even gonna ask. So unlike Bud Spencer and Terence, Asterix has quite a library of games out there. I always used to like the arcade game. The console versions are, in my opinion, a little bit lackluster. Ah, the arcade game. Reminds me of the good old days when my father used to take us to the amusement park in Sledgehammer in the Netherlands. By the way, you constantly chewing on empty calories while I'm trying to talk to our audience is quite distracting.
What am I supposed to do? Listen to you talk to yourself? And besides, they are very crunchy.
My life is a living hell. Anyway, let's check this game out and let's hope that it's not another flop. One thing that I noticed immediately is that the game is directly switched to the language your console is currently set on. That's really nice and all, but I would love to have an option inside the game to switch languages. I heard that people who downloaded the game when it came out on Steam were really frustrated with this issue. Of course, the first thing you have to do is you have to select between Asterix and Obelix in order to get the game going. You know, you do have a lot of similarities with Obelix, seeing as you're both gluttons and all. You pick him.
Whoa! Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. Cutscenes with still images and text. Oh boy, you know they hired voice actors, right? They could have easily just read this text. And seeing how beautiful the animation in the game is, I think it is a little bit lazy using still images. They could have easily just animated this part of the game. The game was published at the end of 2021 after all. This is just confusing. Look at this scene for a moment. Here we have a scene from the comic book Asterix in Britain. Obelix is meeting Asterix's cousin, Anticlimax. That name must be some sort of coincidence. Anyway, tell me if you understand what happened here. So Obelix moves in to shake his hand, and in the next scene Anticlimax is on the ground.
What happened? Did Obelix punch him?
Good question. Let's check out the movie, shall we?
An honor, sir. Ah! No!
That is the problem that you're gonna be seeing throughout the game. You will barely understand anything about the story unless you're like us, a fan of the series.
So the game follows the plot of the movies.
Well, actually much closer to the comic books, but let's see. As mentioned earlier, the animation is absolutely stunning, really close to the comics, a real sharp design. I feel like I'm playing the actual movies from the 80s. The beat-em-up element is quite fun. You have a punch button that can spring combos on your enemies. You have power strikes that are more powerful but cost energy. With Asterix I completely avoid using it because all his other attacks are much better. But Obelix has real knockout power with this one. Then you have a throw function that you can use to either swing Romans around the screen like a fan to destroy everyone in your path before launching them across the screen. Or you could use the throw function to pummel these sandals-wearing motherfuckers into the ground. The strange thing is, Obelix seems to be the weaker character here. Asterix is all over the screen because he's agile. You do a couple of punches to fill up your energy bar, you bomb rush a Roman in the butt, you pick that motherfucker up and then you clean house. The only drawback of using Asterix is that he's quite short and blends in quite well into an onslaught of enemies, especially since his attire is quite similar to that of the Romans. Seriously, you should constantly keep moving or you're gonna lose him. Obelix, on the other hand, just relies on his power. He keeps taking damage because he's harder to maneuver than Asterix. I swear, he's just there to constantly eat our provisions. He's like a walking piñata.
Speaking of provisions, times are tough, bro.
No, fuck off. We just started playing. You told me you got your food covered.
Okay, but I might get hungry.
So we made it to the end of the act and we saved the day. Hooray! What the fuck? My kingdom for anus? For real? What the fuck is wrong with the English names? Who came up with this shit? So if you're asking yourself if there's more to this game, then I'm sad to tell you the answer is not very much. You have 6 acts based on Asterix comics, each like 10 to 12 levels long. Some levels are minigames and they suck. Look at us hunting boars over here. We're literally doing nothing! Now you may go and argue that we could catch more boars for a better score, and maybe you are right, except... Hello! This isn't 1984 and nobody gives a fuck about score! Other minigames are a little bit more innovative, like this race with Gluteus Maximus over here. Problem is, I have never played such an easy dexterity game in my life. Racing him is just too easy. And by the way, Gluteus Maximus? More ass is not possible. Except he has no ass.
I'm hungry.
How is that my problem?
I'm not playing anymore, I'm hungry.
You happy?
Oh yeah.
The village of Indomitables is visited by a strange stranger.
A strange stranger visits the village. At a certain point, you just cannot take these cutscenes and transitions anymore. They're just fucking stupid, and without a strong narrative, the game just feels pointless. Thankfully, the game is a little bit challenging and quite punishing actually. Whenever one of us dies, we have to redo the entire level from scratch, so this kinda keeps you on your toes. Unfortunately, at 4 hours in, we noticed that we are so good that the only reason we die is because we're bored. So as long as we stay focused, we can make it through any level from start to finish without dying.
Playing this game feels like work, like I'm suffering for my fans. I hate it.
Exactly right. At this point, we're only playing because we're gonna be completionists.
I'm falling asleep. We're never gonna make it through.
Hey, I got an idea.
What are we doing here?
Our secret family recipe. Let's talk level design. There are so few enemies that almost everything from start to finish feels the same. I mean, how many times are we gonna break from prison and fight in an arena? How many times are we gonna fight Captain Redbeard and his bleeding pussy pirates? How many times are we gonna race Maximum Asshole over here? It's just repeating over and over and over and over again. Every act starts with
A strange stranger.
we are given a mission, we travel somewhere, we get attacked by butt plug pirates, we go to a distant land, we fight Romans, we fight bandits, then Romans, maybe some more shit-eating monkey pirates. Along the way, we fight the same bosses from the previous acts, we win, we have a feast in the village that we do not get to see, and then we're off to the next act. I seriously wanted this game to succeed. I even paid the full price of 50 euros for this game. Anyway, Thomas, what do you think about this game?
It's too long and gets boring fast. Instead, you could have bought me some doner kebab with that money.
Could have, perhaps. But yeah, exactly my thoughts. This game could have been like 20% as long, and it would have been 10 times better. Just think about it. If it was like 45 minutes long, it would have some real replayability value. Instead, I'm gonna have to give this game the first ever 3 out of 10 on this channel. I mean, if you wanna buy this game, I would advise you to play it casually for like 1 hour a week. More than that would be torture.
Let's get some food.
Yeah, let me buy you some doner kebab. Anyway, I was Dr. Sledgehammer, it's my brother Thomas, and I will see you guys in the next Sledgehammer review. Bye.